That's worse than not having no film in the camera.
I thought you were getting ready to put film in there.
What union you belong to? Jeez.
The sound man was supposed to put that in. He wasn't.
Right, the sound man was not here.
So you got to
start all over again. Good afternoon. When you trace the history of the Watts Health Foundation, you don't have to dig too far or look too long to find the people that really have made a difference in terms of the development of our organization. If you talk to someone like Bridell Moore, she will tell you without hesitation, if it wasn't for Dr. Elsie Giorgi, there would not have been a Watts Health Center. There would not have been a South Central Multi-Purpose Health Services Center. It was because of the dedication by Dr. Giorgi. It was because of her concern, her care, her caring, her love, that our organization came into being. We're here in her office, and we're going to talk about that history and what has happened before, during, and since the beginning of our organization. Dr. Elsie Giorgi, this is your life.
Thank you, Dr. Odie. You're too generous. Because, whatever I did in Watts with the help of the people has been multiplied 1,000-fold by people like yourself, who developed it into a major type of operation and probably should be a model for the whole country. I object to the term medicine for the poor, which was applied to it. I think the rich need it even more. I think the rich may get a lot of care, too many medicines, too many tests, often dangerous, but I think health care like that's rendered at the Watts Health Foundation is probably ideal. Now, if you want to know how this got started, it's one of my favorite subjects, so thanks for asking me. I came here from New York in '62. I didn't even know where Watts was until I got a call from Francis Epps. Francis Epps was heading a Head Start program with Claire Riley. They wrote a book called Head Start in Action, and they asked me to come to examine the children. And I'm not a pediatrician, I'm an internist. And I sort of said, I can't do that. But she said that nobody else would do it. And so I said I'll come for one afternoon. And I went down fortified, having hit the books again, with balloons and with raisins. And to this day, I feel so good when one of the young people stopped me who are now in their 20s, unfortunately. Too much?
And that's what we put out for people to come and to be interviewed, to be on the board. And that's when I met Frieda Johnson. I didn't know she was living at the Watts at the time, because I had seen her in different movies and different things like that. And that's when I met Frieda Johnson. And I knew she lived here.
I see.
So, and then after we got this board set up, well, quite natural, the board was right with me and would not allow them to move that fee. And they wanted to call us an advisory anyway. And somebody kept saying advisory. So, and we got out of that stigma when Mrs. Walden, Walden had set up this, we was a chartered member. And that's when it came about. We was a chartered member.
Incorporated the organization.
And so, and during that time when we was scrumming the community, I had met Mr. Satalis some time ago, because I knew he was born in Watts. He was born here. His father had a store down here on Wilmington.
Yes.
And so, and he and I talked about it, but he didn't say he was going to come and join the health center. But I knew about him. And so, anyway, and after we got there, and so, and it was DeLacy and all of us, but when we was talking about this health center, DeLacy told me, said, you know, we got to have the people working. That's UAW, and the HARS is right up there, you know. And he wanted me to come up there and register those people so they'll be able to vote. So I went up there and I registered people. I got a plaque, certificate.
Talking about the labor
from the
hall
union,
up at
labor union.
Yeah, not UAW.
No, well, from the labor union.
Labor.
That's right up here. And so, because I went up there and registered the people so they could vote.
I see.
But now, these are the things, and then when we, the board, one time or another, after we had got the board set up, we got young people in there, because everybody was talking about you have to get the young people. Well, we got them, we wanted them too. But the thing about it, after they found out that they wasn't going to be paid to be on the board, it got down to only 7 of us. Mrs. Johnson, Alma Woods, Mrs. Walden, and it wasn't but 7 of us. And we just kept it together. We wouldn't turn it loose.
Turn loose at all.
No, because Mrs. Johnson, all of us, we was just right at that, and we wanted this health center, and we know if we turn it loose, that would be it. Because it wasn't supposed to last. That's what they said.
Right.
And so, but we fought it, and we got it up until we moved up here.
Yes. Okay, Ms. Johnson, what are your earliest recollections in terms of involvement with the health center?
Well, in the first place, everything that everybody has said here is, I've been through all of this. I want to say this, however, that the McComb Commission called me before them 4 times to assert the great need that there was for not only a health center, but the Martin Luther King Hospital. I won't go into the details, but it's there. And I was very happy to show them and let them know that there was a very, very great need. We'd go out to Big G, and you sit around there all day and not get waited on. I had had that experience not only with a friend, but I had the experience with my husband. So I said that we need something that is closer to us. And I went through all that. Everything that everybody has said here is just absolutely, and there's no use in repeating it because it's there.
Yes.
I was at that time president of the coordinating council and president of the PTA, and had done many things in the community because I've worked in the community ever since I've been here. Because there has always been a need for improvement. No matter where you are or no matter how good a place is, you can always do just a little bit better.
Yes.
And this has always been my thinking. And I was very happy when Dr. Egerberg changed his mind about the position. I don't know whether Jerry and Bridell made him change his mind, but he changed his mind as to whether we should be an advisory committee or the policy making.
Yes.
They did have an advisory council which was made up of physicians, And then they would have 2 or 3 of us, just ordinary people. I happened to be one of them on that committee for a while. And they were trying, the doctors were trying as hard as anything to make that the policy-making board. But because Jerry and Bridell worked and fought, and the rest of us, it was a fight all the way up the line. And when I say a fight, it was a pull. We had to really do it in the right way, because you see, there are 2 ways to get mad: mad angry and mad crazy. Mad crazy, you lose the battle. But if you're just angry, you can fight it and win it. And we did win it.
Dr.
I'd like to say something here. I really have looked back on this thing and wondered if Eggeberg and Giorgi and Tranquata, because that was a great triumvirate, thought that the people of Watts were so stupid that they didn't know what a policy-making board was. Now, I've often thought this.
Yeah, well,
I think they intended, because it was written in the proposal that it would be a policy-making board.
That's right.
But what they wanted to do was have it function as an advisory board.
Yeah.
But they found that it wasn't going to work that way. Now, after all, if I helped to write the proposal, and if I insisted on putting it in that the community would be a policy-making board, why would I side with the other people who wanted it an advisory board?
Yeah,
So, of course, I was a maverick.
That's right.
You
That's
see?
right.
Because I was siding with the community.
Well, that's why I
But
think Eggeberg changed his idea.
I don't know why he
changed.
changed, but I think he had to change. He didn't have any choice because he realized that the community wasn't as dumb as they thought they were.
With the start of the community board, who was the first president of the board?
Oh,
Wasn't it?
no, that was a boy that was
The
killed.
man
His
was-
name was, what?
It was Butch, wasn't it?
No, not Butch.
No.
The other man, what is his name?
What was his name?
I
He was killed. He was
Oh,
shot.
oh.
He was shot.
Not-
Officer?
Huh?
The first
No, he was the first
a
president
young man.
he was like about 40. He must have been around about 40,
That's right.
something like that. I can't think of his name.
But listen
But
to
that
me.
was before Butch.
Okay,
Butch
before
wasn't
Butch.
the first person to be
Well, that's why I'm asking the question, so we can, we'll check the records on
I'm
that.
trying to think of his
Oh,
name.
Williams, wasn't his name
Williams.
That's
Yeah,
right.
William.
I think his
That's
name
And
was
so
Williams.
he was the first president.
And he was a young man, if I may finish, you ladies, and give me
Yes.
an opportunity. He was a young man, and Mrs. Clark was the one who nominated him. And because she had known him, he didn't last very long. As one of these ladies has said, I don't know which one, they all figured that they were going to get paid and going to make a lot of money, and when they found out they weren't going to get paid, then they didn't want to be bothered with it. And we, as Mrs. Moore has said, we people who were on this board struggled along like nobody's business. We were paid nothing. We would meet in the afternoon and work clear up into the night.
1 and 2 o'clock in
One,
the morning.
that's right. Waiting, trying to work out things that we thought needed to be worked out. And I was always a little upset when they called it the Multipurpose Health Services Center. I said, that's such a long name for people to remember. And I'm very happy that they did change it. And I have here with me today, I want to turn it over to, I have an old program. No, yes, I guess it is. I've scratched all over it. This is a program when we first moved into this building.
Okay.
And I'd like, maybe somebody would like to see this.
Sure.
And this was done in '79, I believe. I think it was '79. Yes, when we moved here. And I have this old program.
Okay.
Of literature. I believe I got probably one of the first proposals of the Watts Health Foundation. I
Is that right?
keep it all. I got a whole bunch of this stuff.
Yes,
You know.
yes.
I mean, all of the purposes and the whole
Yes,
bit.
if you bring that to Harold, because we are putting together the history. That's why we're doing this tape, this interview.
You know, one of the most interesting things about when this health center first came into existence, we had people that were sitting on that health council that was like riding two sides of the fence. We had some members that was a member of the council. They would come to a meeting down there on Great. Then they would turn around and come back up here at the doctor's building here.
Yes.
And inform them, because see, they didn't really want that facility, because they thought that they were going to, the Tupper building, they thought it was going to take business away from them.
Yes.
They were
And-
double agents.
And so, you know, like, I was there in the community, you know, and people didn't know just exactly who I was at, because I wasn't on the board, you know. I was just, and boy, you would be surprised at the things that people sitting up there grinning and supposed to been acting in good faith, and they was trying to shoot this facility down all the time.
That's right.
And I think, I shouldn't say that because I have no
For history.
proof for it, but I know that Tucker didn't want the building. And
Absolutely.
they were
That's
very angry with me
Yeah.
when I insisted on a community board that was policy making.
Right.
Because they knew if the community board got hold of it, we would have the health center, and so did I.
See, another thing, this is the only facility, maybe some now, that had a policy-making board that's of the community that is independent of the stuff that's uptown. See, WLCAC they should have been the best and the largest outfit, because they got one of the most unique boards that you ever want to see. The only person that is from this area that sits on that board is Ted White. And all the rest of the people are professional people that don't even know where it is. See, when I worked for WLCAC before I ever came to work, and I helped organize WLCAC like we did this. See, and they let me go to one of their meetings, and I got to ask the two vocal, and they didn't let me go to no more.
The feud to stop with the doctors here. Because when he got Tucker over here and bought him a lunch and sat him down and talked with him, that stopped the feud right there. Because they had been feuding all the time we was down there on break and then after we got here. But he stopped.
Okay.
And I called him in over here. I don't know how he got him over here. But I come in one day and he had him in there feeding him.
Okay, I'd like to thank you all for giving of your time for doing this very important interview this morning. We've covered a lot of territory. We've talked about some important things in terms of the development of our organization. I do want to say for the record, if it had not been for your involvement, your contribution, your giving, this organization would not exist, and this community would not be where it is today.